Hey, we're getting close to the end of this game now. And I don't know if I mentioned in the last one or not, but I tried this one and I got like almost there. It felt like I like should have been able to solve it, but it was I think the problem I had was it's like I needed to deal with it early on or else I had to redo the whole thing. So anyway, I've already looked at this one and done it or attempted it, but hopefully this time I can get it for realsies. So I'll read through this again. Tech EXA-BLASTER modem pager network. Send a confusing message to a large number of pagers simultaneously. I'm ready to prove my theory. One last test is all I need. Then I'll know for sure. Do you believe me? Does it matter? Only if you care about your future. Seriously, I'm almost there. Then we can take the next step. Alright, so in this one, you need to connect to each pager and copy Ember 2's message, which is kept here. Hey, would you write so now and relieved? Like it's some gibberish, I guess. To the screen data, but those are in their own pagers. Then activate all of the pagers at the same time by writing a value to each page register in the same cycle. And so that's the thing that got me in the end. It's harder than I thought. A list of phone numbers for the pagers is available in file 301. And for more information, blah blah blah. But I've actually done one like this before, so no need to read that page again. Yeah, so okay, so a couple things to note. This message does change length, so I mean there's that one, but 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. This one is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. And I think there's longer and shorter, but like that. The point is that there's always. Oh, it still has. Here, I'm just gonna start fresh here. I didn't even notice that was there. That was just my old attempt that didn't work out in the end. But kind of the trickiest part of this, I don't even think it's necessarily about like the length of the message being different, because I noticed that very early on and tried to work around that. It's just that getting the timing to be the same, because these pagers, you can only be connected to one at a time because of how this modem system works. When you have to like dial a number, you can only be connected to one at a time. So there's no way I can like just, I don't know, send a global message out. I can't even send a global message out to everyone at the same time, but there's no way I could send a message out like, oh, okay, I'm ready, you can send it now. I have to have basically like a countdown. The only other real option would be like get the data in all of them and then dial up each one individually, so it's kind of like a clean slate kind of thing. Because my initial approach was like just connect to all of them and both write in the data and say, okay, after this amount of time you're gonna page that message. You're gonna like write a value to the page register. But that actually was very tricky. But honestly, I don't. Excuse me. I don't think there's a difference between. I don't think there's really a difference between dialing again or just telling them to count down the first time, because there's just gonna be these steps that you have to count for. Like if I dial this one first and then this one, I have to count for the time, like, and I want just these two to activate at the same time. I say, or maybe even three, I'll say. So like I would tell this one, okay, after 100 seconds, or just it's in cycles, but whatever, after 100 seconds you're gonna page. And then when I get to this one, I have to tell them less time. And then this one, I have to tell it, just do it now. But it's like, kind of the time interval is very weird, and it's like, it's hard to think about how that's going to work. And I guess one upside of dialing everyone again, which is kind of annoying, but one upside of it is it wouldn't matter about the length of the message in that case, because then you would just say, like, after this amount of time, just do whatever. But it just doesn't seem like that should be necessary at all. Like, the length of the message does affect the waiting time, because it's gonna take longer to write the message into data, but yeah, so it, like, that affects it, because like it you know, if each one I had to write 10 words into data, it takes a bit longer than 9 or 8 or whatever. It's just that it's very, it seems like it shouldn't be that bad, but I think one issue I had maybe was, like, once I told them, oh, just wait this long until you write your message, the way I do that is with a loop that was like subtracting from the T register until it reaches 0, and then doing like an F jump out. But the problem with that was like the loops weren't like synchronized, and it was so weird. It was like I would get it so that they would be like off by 1, because one would be at the point in the loop where it's at like checking for T jump or whatever, or F jump, and then the other one would be at the one where it's subtracting. You know, they'd be like off by 1 in a way that when they did get out of there, they wouldn't be synced up, because one would be just one cycle ahead of the other. So that was, you know, this timing is really hard. Like, if I just had to get it within 10 cycles of each other, I could do that easy, but like I already did that. But the exact same time, I found that quite challenging. So let's see if I can do it. I mean, even though I've done this before, I'm still not quite sure what the best approach. Like, I want to plan this out from the start. Excuse me, I don't know. I think there's something wrong with my throat this morning. I'm just gonna take another drink of water. Excuse me. So I mean, I don't want to have to dial them all again, one, because that just takes a while. It's not like a big deal, I guess. I don't care how many cycles this takes as long as I solve it, but it would just add more complexity, I think, than like save complexity, I think. Because, I mean, it is a big upside that if I dial them all again, the timing is always the same, because it's just dialing and getting in there and telling them something, or not even getting in there necessarily. I can just do a global thing. But I really don't think that's necessary, because it should be that the length of the message matters. Yeah, okay, I think I'm just gonna have to be more careful this time. I'll just try and be really careful, but I won't do the thing where I dial again, because I don't think I have to do it that way, and I'd rather not. I don't think that's even like the smarter or easier way necessarily to do it. So I'm gonna try to avoid that and see if I can just make it work this time, because I think I was just a little bit sloppy last time. I wasn't really tracking. You know, I wasn't really like writing any notes or tracking anything that well, so it allowed for problems to kind of build up unseen. All right, anyway. So I think my idea was that I have one bot just grab the phone book, if you want to call it that, go here and dial and wait. And I don't want to edit my old one, so I'm gonna start fresh. But maybe I'll peek back, but I think I don't think I'll want to do that. I think I remember it well enough, anyways. I can kind of reconstruct it. But yeah, let's grab 301, link 800, and then this is where we have to start dialing. It's always the same length. So I think, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So this will be the dial loop, and I had some sort of like checks here to make sure that it waited before dialing and after dialing, but it's hard to think about that right off the bat. So let's just say you're gonna dial, and how is this gonna work? I think a good way of doing this maybe is by saying copy 11 into T, so that I don't know, we'll see if this is the good method, but then I'll just copy M to dial and subtract 1 from T and store it in T. Oh, what is it? Sub E 1 T. Or I think I have to say T1, like it's like T minus 1 and store it into T. And then if it's still true, if it's not 0, go back to dial. Oh wait, yes, yeah, that's right. And then actually I think I'll just space it out like that. And then so once it dials, I don't want it to dial again until another bot has gone in there and copied like this stuff into the data. So new EXA, you're gonna grab 300 and link to 800. But see, so they have to link into here. Oh, and just because I wanna, was that? Wait, what's happened? Copy M to dial. What am I doing wrong there? Oh, not M. F to dial. So yeah, it's 800. So I can't have the bot link to 800 until that's open. It won't be open until XA is done dialing. So when XA is done dialing, we basically want to tell XB that, because otherwise I'd just be like trying to force my way in until I can get in. But that doesn't really work in a lot of ways. Oh, another thing is I have to like kind of leave a bot in here so that they can page. So there's going to be a lot of bots in this one. At least 10, probably. Okay, so first I have to get the actual... Oh, and there's only room for one bot in here, by the way. So I have to actually get the actual message in there. And last time I decided the best way is just to have the one person holding this the whole time and just write it in, because otherwise it's too weird to, like, I don't know, make a copy of this file or something so that the bot in there can just do that. And yeah, I think it's better to just have this bot go in and just write it in the data. So this is where it starts to get weird though, and the countdown depends on how long the message is. Because like right now, the dialing and getting a bot in there, that's all, doesn't even matter how long the message is. It'll always take the same amount of time. But the writing of the message, because they can sometimes be longer or shorter, this is where it gets a little tricky. So I need to know how long that message is, basically. And And that length of the message will determine just... Okay, and another thing to consider is, like I said, each of them have to wait, like, it's like a linear, there's a linear scale of how long each bot in the pager needs to wait before sending their message, because if you have to wait, you know, if you don't have to wait because you'll be the last one, I think, I forget how this is laid out, I think it's like this and then this, then you'll have to wait, you know, like 10 seconds, then you'll have to wait 20, and then you'll have to wait 30, you'll have to wait 40, 50. It should be something like that, because the same things are happening in between, which is good. That's very similar every single time. But yeah, so it's kind of weird. I have to start with the longest wait and then go down to 0 basically. Okay, so I need to make sure I know how long that message is, because by the time I get in here with like a bot, like a countdown bot in there, that countdown bot has to have the right countdown, the right time to wait before paging. So, well, first of all, let's just do it. So, like, okay, so you dialed, and I think what should happen next is just you say, so like I just need to copy something into the global register to tell this guy, like it could just be like void m, like just it's like, oh, okay, I was waiting for something to appear in that m register. Now that something has, I can link 800, and this is where they would just copy this until it's all in the data, and then they'd leave, and I think that same bot XB would replicate itself and put a copy of itself, a replica, I guess, in the pager with the countdown information. So like what I think should happen is there should be a certain amount of time that it takes to just set up things, and that certain amount of time it's gonna like stack depending on how many pagers we are until the end. But then there's also this little bonus amount of time depending on how long the message is that we'll have to wait. So I think someone needs to just, I mean, somehow I just need to get that number for the amount of time it takes. And honestly, I think I can just, I feel like I should be able to just wait till the end and just say, okay, it always takes this long, like after I've written the whole code, it always takes this long to go from here to here, ignoring the data writing part, just like it always takes this long to do all this stuff, set it up for this one, and then get to here. And that should just be like a hard number. It is kind of tricky though, because that number depends on how long the code is, because it's how many cycles. So it could keep changing if I'm like, oh, you know, I forgot to set up this thing, or now that I'm setting up the part with the length of the message, I just made the whole code longer and now I have to wait longer or something. But it should be a fixed number, I think. So I mean, I guess alternatively, I didn't even think about this yet, but maybe a good option here is, instead of trying to like do this like perfectly set up thing where it's like, if I can know exactly how long this takes, I'll do it like this. I'll just say like it's gonna take, you know, 100 cycles or whatever, and that's more than enough. So just so that it's always timed exactly the same, and then we start the next one, and then we start. I feel like that's actually probably a good move. So maybe like I'll start with, there's 8 of them, so I'll start with like 800, and then 700, and then 600, 500, 400, 300, 200, or something like that. I guess the last one doesn't actually need to wait. But maybe I should think of it more just like set an amount of time that it'll take, so that I don't have to worry about any of the weird variables. I don't even have to worry about the length of the message too in that case. I don't know why I haven't considered that before. I think that's actually going to be a good move. So if I do it like that, then really I guess I could even have XA just have a countdown before it starts the next thing. So I would just say something like copy 100 to T, and then mark wait, and then subtract 1 from T, store in T jump wait, and then once they're out, they can just do the next style and stuff. So this is where I would just say jump back up here. So this is like I guess I'll say loop, or I'll say like start. I don't know. Jump start. So that's kind of nice because then it's just like they dialed and then it's waiting, and it's, you know, I can adjust that later is the good thing. I'm just gonna give it more than enough time, and I think 100 is more than enough. And then I would just need to make sure that I'm changing the amount of time I tell the replica to wait in each one. Like you wait 800, 700, 600, so on. But that shouldn't be an issue, I don't think. So, but I still need XB to get going at a certain point in time. I mean, I guess I could have XA make a replica there, but the whole thing is, like, if I make a replica there, and that replica is the one that goes in and writes the data, I mean, yeah, I don't think I'd do it that way because I like the one writing the data, I think that's all it's going to be doing. It's just going to write data in. Yeah. So no. So but I do want. So we need it to be copy, 1 to M. It doesn't matter, and then copy 100 T, so that this guy like activates at that point. Links 800, and then all they need to do. So this is like mark right. And they just want to copy F to, or yeah, that should be fine. Copy F to data, and then I need to check if I'm at the end of the file. So test end of file, and then that returns true if I am at the end of the file. So otherwise, F jump, go back to right. And then once it's out of there, we need to leave before you can make a replica because there's not a lot of room. But we would link back, and then we would make a replica. This is the replica that will go in and wait just to write something to page. It doesn't matter what. So this is where, well, here, I'll just say replica, I don't know, pager, I guess. So this is where I think I'll do it, let's see here. I think I'll do it so it's like you copy 800, let's just say, to X, and then this is the start of some other like mark. Yeah, this is your start. I'm kind of spacing things out because some of that helps me read it a bit more easily. But yeah, like you're gonna replicate the pager and then you're gonna jump start. Yeah. Oh, but before you jump start, I want you to subtract x by 100 so that like the next one has to wait 100 less and so on. Yeah. Okay, so the pager, all they do is and they'll have like the pager will have the right x value, which is nice. Yeah, and it's subtracted after they replicate. So they're just gonna link 800. And then they need to do a weight of their own. Weight. So this is the one kind of weird thing because oh wait, does this work like I think it will? Because they have to get in there and then start waiting a bit. But by the time... Huh. Well, we'll see. I might not have thought this out correctly, but let's just see. So... Oh, I guess it's funny. I have it in X, but I want to put it in T now, so I'll just say... say link 800, copy X to T, and then subtract T by 1, store it in T, and then as long as it's not 0, continue that loop. And then once you're out, just write something to the page thing. So copy 1 to page. So I know I'm forgetting some things here, but just the general idea: calls the number, you signal the other guy, and so you're waiting 100, but you're writing in the data right now. So like their countdown already started. Maybe that countdown shouldn't start until this guy gets back out or something. So how does this work? So then you're out, you make your replica, it goes in there. And the replica just starts waiting 800. So it's like I kind of want that 800 countdown to line up perfectly with the next one, which is a 700 countdown, 600, and so on. So that's why, yeah, I think EXA shouldn't start counting down and doing its thing. Yeah, No, I want it to wait 100. Oh, I see. Yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky. It's like I want it to... Maybe I need someone like independent of all of this to be doing a countdown, like to be keeping track of time, so that they can just say, okay, this much time has passed, you can go do your next thing. Because I think part of this is like them trying to keep track of time on their own is a bit messy. Because, okay, so they're going to be waiting 800 in there, starting at a certain point in time, but I want to get it so that I do all the other stuff, and then I have a button here that right when they do their first subtract, it's going down from 700 to 699, just when this guy was going down to 700 to 699, like same exact timing. And the best way to do that would be to ensure that it took exactly 100 cycles to go from one thing to the next. But, okay, yeah, so that's where the length of writing the message gets weird. So yeah, I think I do need like an independent clock timekeeper person. Seems weird, but I think that's what I'll need here. So that they can just say like, like I guess after every 100 cycles it can yell out something into the M register. I mean, that timing could still be tricky, but it's more manageable when it's its own bot, I think. Oh man. Yeah, this timing is like a whole nother challenge in this game. Let me just make sure. Okay, I am recording. Good. For a second there, I was like, did I record any of that? Yeah, because you're gonna be in there during countdown of 800. I'm gonna leave. And basically I want the whole process to be exactly 100 seconds before, or whatever, 100 cycles before the next spot. And it should take less time than that, but I would just wait until 100 to actually do it. Yeah, I think this is where I want another bot. Okay, so, I mean, I'm going to try and do it this way. There's room in here for another bot at least. So you're going to link 800, and I think the idea is something as simple as copy 100 into X, and then you're just going to have this like consistent loop where you subtract, or here, let me actually do it like this. Copy X to T, or is that right? Yeah. And that just makes it easier to change that, or no, I guess I could just say copy 100 to T, yeah. And then subtract T by 1, sorting T, and then as long as it's not 0, go back to the loop. But then once it's out of the loop, this is where it would just like copy 1 to M, and then it would jump to the start, which is right here. So now this guy, where'd he go? Oh, This guy is like our clock. We actually have to wait. I'll do something about waiting for him to be ready before we start the next one. So the only thing I'm thinking is, I feel like this guy should start at a very why is this so tricky? Is it that I want it every 100 cycles to say something out? So every 100 cycles... I don't know, I feel like there's still a problem with the length of the message or something, but if every 100 cycles... It's like every 100 cycles should be, you know, maybe it's every 100 cycles should be when the replica is made. Maybe that's it. I think that's closer to it. So you know what? I think XB shouldn't be the one to replicate this. I think this should be an XC. So... I think I'll actually get rid of that from there and put it in here. And it's gonna be like, it's gonna wait 100 and then, oh, and this is funny because this is the guy that would need the right time to wait in X. Oh, but the problem with, I can't have it be like every 100. I'm just thinking, because if this guy's counting, I can't have him, like he needs, hold on, let me take that back. Like he needs to be pretty, like I don't want him to get interrupted with other stuff. In fact, like it's already weird enough that he has to, like he's in this like just always counting type thing, but there's this interruption at the start, at the end, that throws off the timing a bit. Just don't know how else to deal with that. So this is such a weird one. It's like, how do I get the timing to be the same when I can't communicate with them? How do coders solve these problems? I don't understand that. But I mean, I think the countdown guy, maybe the countdown guy is the one that does the replicating, because he'll count down a certain amount, then he'll make the replica, put them in there and tell them you're gonna wait this long, and then do another. I mean, I think that will work out, actually. Is there a way I can... Okay, I'm just going to have to redo that. Not a big deal. I think maybe I am right about this. So I think I am going to do it like this. Now it's funny because now I actually do want him to start by saying copy some big number like 800 into X. So this is kind of funny because now it's like numbers dialed, this guy's writing the message in. He's gonna go back and die because it didn't change that. But now we're actually waiting for this guy to make the replica and stuff, and it seems like 100 is too much, but I want it to be too much rather than too short. Like maybe I'll change it to 50 later, but just for now I think I'll just stick with 100. It's an easy number to think about. Yeah, so it's when this guy is ready. So good thing that's a little longer. That he'll make the replica. Meanwhile, he's gonna subtract 700 and then go back to here where he just again waits a while. Now the replica is in here and counting down. Okay, so so another thing. Okay, so we actually don't need you to do a wait countdown. But we don't want you to jump start. We're just gonna have you wait for something to void. So I'll say void M. And after you replicate pager, I mean actually it could be at any point probably. Yeah, so it's gonna be it's gonna be void, and then I have to disconnect from this thing, and I think that's just by copying -1 to dial, and then you'll jump start. But because that happens so fast, I think I'll have, well, let's see. If I say replicate pager and then I say copy 1 to M, just curious. So they replicated the pager, copy 1 to M. Yeah, it seems fine. Okay. I mean, potentially I could even do, let me see, where is that? Let me see if I could do it like this. This seems crazy, but telling the guy to basically disconnect before the replica's even. Oh, okay, yeah, that's not good. All right, fair enough. So that's the way we'll do it. Now XB, they are waiting for that every time. So they're waiting to void. But okay, I can't have those be confused. I mean, I guess I could have XB just be a replica created by XA that just like picks up the file, goes and writes it all down, comes back, and then dies. Yeah, actually that might work better. So I'll say, so it's funny because I do want to bring that file over just so I don't have to like have the first guy go in, or I don't want that to be repeated. Oh, I guess I could have, oh, you know, okay, this is funny. So I think I'll do actually is I'll have XC weirdly start by grabbing, which one is it? 301. Oh no, sorry, 300. And then they'll link 800, and then they'll drop 300, or I think I had to say drop. And that's just to bring the file over so that when we're ready at this point, we don't have to copy one to M in or anything. We would just say replicate writer. And writer is this guy, but all he has to do now is he doesn't have to link. Doesn't have to copy 800 into X. Doesn't have to have a mark start point. Doesn't have to have a void. It's just this. I'm pretty sure. With the grab at the start. So that's actually interesting. So we're dialing that, right? Yep. The writer grab file 300, links in there, copies a bunch of stuff into the data, comes back, dies, leaves the file there, which is good. And now we're waiting for this countdown loop thing to reach 0 so that it's always timed the same no matter what. And at that point, the pager goes in and it'll start subtracting. And so this is where the timing's a little, I gotta get this right. I think this is a problem, like this 9998 thing. I'm gonna have to fix that somehow. And I think I'll do that by just telling you to wait a little bit. What's that? Nope. I think it might be like 3. Let's just see. So that's nice because then it's like nope, nope, nope. And then right when you see they reach subtract at the same exact time. I like that. Okay, I feel kind of good about this. Let's see. Actually, how far does this? Huh. Is this okay? Right now. Oh, okay, they're off by a little bit. That's interesting. I'll have to figure out what's wrong there, but that's pretty good. They're pretty close to each other, so I feel like I just need to figure out what's going on with that. Okay, and then so I should have 8 different copies just waiting to dial. They're all on the same part of the loop, which is really good. It's just they're off by 3 each of them, it looks like. So I have to figure out why that is. Is that because of the noops that I added? Huh. But if I just look at it right now, yeah, it's like it was off by 3. Okay. Interesting. So you're dialing. Then we get the writer. Just goes in there and writes all that in. And comes back out and dies. And then I have you doing a countdown so that it had nothing to do with that writing section. And nothing to do with XA. And then when you've copied that guy, then we take 100 away. Maybe instead of 100 it should be like 97, or you know, like maybe that. I'm curious. I might take that back if it's like it messes things up a lot, but let me just try that. I know I'm waiting longer than I need to, but that's kind of the point. All right, let's see. No, oh, so that created a bigger gap in between them. So would it be that I need it to be more like 103? It's kind of hard to understand. Oh wait, yeah. Oh, I kind of understand why that would be. Because it's like I want less time waited. Yeah, so I guess that makes more sense. So maybe it is something like that. Let's see. Gonna wait for like a third one just to be totally sure. Okay. Ooh. That's looking good. Oh wait, I want to see if this actually... I feel like the 103 might screw up the amount I initially set, but I'm curious to see if this just works at least. I mean, I still need to clear out all the evidence or whatever, leave no trace. Ooh, and I think... Oh shoot. Oh my god, it worked. Wow, that worked. So, did I need... Wait, hold on. Another thing I want to try is if I get rid of those noops and tell this to be exactly 100, would this work for some weird reason? Well, that activated way faster than I thought it would. I don't think it did, though. I mean, it would... I just want to see what the number looks like. No, yeah, okay. Interesting. So I think I got it. Now I just need it to be that... let's see. I think I'll have something be determined by when XA... Because XA, what's interesting is they're gonna get to a point where they can't... There's nothing to copy. But I could do a test end of file. So basically, and I think that's going to be the best way. I mean, because the alternative would be something like, yeah. Anyway, but oh, but then we dial, and then we gotta, oh, I guess I can test if this is negative. So let's see, we replicate pager, copy, wait, why are we copying 1 to M? Oh yeah, because it's the void M thing. And then we subtract that. Oh, but the jump to start, if I add in a test to check things, that would mess things up with that. Okay, so I think I will put it here. So it'll be, before you jump start, you're gonna test end of file, and then if you are not at the end of the file, I'll say F jump start. But if you are at the end of the file, that's when I'll need you to clear up everything. The only problem is oh no, actually that should work quite well. So I think it'll be like wipe to get rid of the file they're holding. Is it kill? Yeah, kill. And then they have to grab the other file, which I think is 300, wipe, and then halt. I think that's right. Let's see. Oh shoot. Boom. I actually got it. Wow. Wow, okay, I'm gonna optimize this one a little bit, but that... Oh, wow. What the heck? Whoa. Why is that size so good? What the heck? I mean, it looks like people have done better, but... I didn't expect that to be... top percentile. Wow. Oh, I'm right at the top percentile. Oh, cool. Really slow, but that's something I can change. And then the activities really seems like a lot of people ended up with this activity. Nice. Okay, so first of all, I'm gonna copy this one because I'm gonna start fidgeting with things. But also I just wanna make sure. Did I get all? So I got all that right. That was just like first guess, but I guess it worked. Kill. Huh. Yeah. Oh, and I guess they'll leave no trace. Oh no, yeah, it does, because those guys die off on their own. So now I'm gonna start messing with things. So, I think I'll say 50 here, and so that'll be 53. And let's just see what happens. It's working, it looks like. So I'm gonna just keep bringing that down until it stops working. That should be a huge save. The cycles, yeah. It's still really slow, but oh, it doesn't save my previous one, but it'll show it next time. Let's try. I mean, I'll try 25. I think that's. I mean, actually, is there a way I can? I think there's a way I can kind of guesstimate, because it's kind of based on when you'd be ready to. Yeah, I think 25 is too fast. I think I can say like 35 though. So let's change it to 35. Oh wait. I didn't even change that number, I just realized. That's weird. You'd think that would matter. 35. Let me just make that 400. Does this still work? No. Okay, see this is why because actually I was thinking like this 800 is, so maybe it should be like if this is like 50 and this is 400. Like I feel like this should work. Yeah, okay. But this should actually be faster. Yeah. Okay, nice. Now so I'm gonna say 40, 443. Nice, that looks good. Ooh, nice. And then I'm gonna say 30. I don't think this one will work. 33 and 300. No. What about 350, 35, and 38? No. What about 360? No, let's do 380, 38, and 41. Yeah. Okay. Little faster, and let's bring that down to 370, 37, and 40. Yeah. Might be able to go one more, and then that's about it. Nice. Okay, let's try it. 360, 36, 39. Nope. Alright, so there's our limit. And this is the one that works, right? Yeah. Right? Yeah. Alright, and then So let's see what's happening here. So it's like, is that, I wonder if that 370 might be able to be brought down. I'm kind of curious. Let me just see if I'm even just make it like 369. Oops. Does that still work? It does. So maybe I can bring this now, but I think if I make it 360, no, it's still working. Wow. 350? Whoa, really? 320? No, what? 300? The heck? 200? No. Oh, so there is a, that's just way less than I thought. 250, not quite. 260, not quite. 270, not quite. 280. Wow, it must have been like right around 300. Wow, no, 290. 285. Whoa. 283. 282. 281? Can we get 281? Hey, but so 281's the point, because I tried 280, right? Okay, 281 somehow. So this is probably about as good as I can hope for. Wow, almost in the 10th percentile. So that must just be like, I'm curious, so what's happening here now? Why 281? I don't even understand where that, oh, that must be some sort of, I don't get why it's 281. Oh, what's 32 times 8? That would be like, oh wait, was 32 the number I ended up, no, 37 times 8 would be 240 plus 56, so 296, but see, I don't understand why it's 280, but it's around there, so I think it has something to do with that. Okay, but these guys are synced up, which is, so I wonder if those noops I think are necessary. They are weird, but I think they are necessary to like line up the cycle or something. Actually, I am curious though, if I remove, let me not do it on this one, but I'm gonna make another copy here. If I remove 2 noobs, I'm curious, does this still work? Yeah, that's what I thought. Because I think it's like an off by 1 thing. So I don't know if it'll work here, but because I got the timing so close. Oh shoot, it did. Oh shoot, that's gonna, whew. I'm beyond the top percentile. That's probably one of the best jobs I've ever done with that. Wow. Within the top 1%. That's crazy. I really don't get how that's possible when I haven't played this game in like forever or done any sort of coding stuff. I don't know how that's possible. I think it's probably because a lot of people don't get this far in the game or something. I don't know. But I think that noob is necessary because it's like, it's something about like offsetting. I mean, this shouldn't work. What? Okay, now I don't. Really? Well, now we're at 46. Jeez. I mean, it seems like someone's done this in like somewhere between 25 and 30, which is insane. I mean, how do you even come up with something like that? I'm not sure what's left for me to like optimize here, so that's crazy to me. Okay, but so it shouldn't, like, that shouldn't work, right? Yeah, no. So the 281 is somehow the limit, and if I say 36 and 39, that should still not work, right? It got through 1 and then it failed. Okay. Okay, so this is probably as good as I can get this current design to be, but it's pretty dang good. It's almost top 10th percentile for cycles. It's beyond top percentile for size, and the activity isn't great compared to the best, but I mean, I actually don't know how you get better activity, to be honest. I'm kind of surprised that people could do better activity. Oh, I guess it's something to do with not having a guy, like you would just do something annoying, like make a replica that has the information. Anyway, that's cool. I can't believe I got that as fast as I did. Fascinating. There it is. Well, what did you find? How can I explain it? Processing. Think of it as the frame rate of the world slowing down by a lot. Funny, huh? Funny how I went from some random blob of code that didn't know anything to understanding all of existence. Are you gonna tell what you found out? I will, in a minute. It's a long minute. Oh, meeting. Did any of you get a weird pager message? Nope, don't have a pager. It made no sense. When did everything just stop making sense? I'm trying to think. Did things ever make sense? I feel like something changed lately. This is what I've been talking about. It's like reality is falling apart, or you're falling apart. Alright, I might as well go to the meeting. Hear what Ember 2 has discovered about this world. That's nice.
So you wanted to know the truth. The truth is that, well, it's a simulation.
Uh oh.
You, me, everything. This whole world we live in. It's just a computer program, running as part of a machine. And as the world gets more complex, it's starting to malfunction. So far, it's been on a smaller scale. The phage, for one example. It wasn't supposed to spread like this. There are other problems coming. Larger ones. What we think of as normal life will just get stranger and weirder until nothing makes sense anymore. Then the laws of physics will start to break down and everything will just come unglued. Not a pretty sight. But we don't have to accept that. There might be a way to stop this future from taking place. I have one final job for you, but you'll have to be brave.
Heads up all, I'm gonna reboot the Chatsubo server. Some downtime expected. Okay. Woo. Something wrong? Nothing in particular, just general weirdness. Like everywhere. I'm headed to bed anyway. Night everyone. See ya. Thanks for the help. Now is a good time to start my epic rant. See y'all later. You have disconnected from EXAPUNKS. It's possible this is the last one. I think I'll leave it for another video, but there you go. I actually almost made it. I'll see you for perhaps what will be the final EXAPUNKS video. Thanks if you watched. Bye-bye.